live.
Let's do it live! What's up, everybody? Welcome to Respawn Aim Fire Side Quest 2 in 1 week. Holy shit, is it your birthday? Yes, it is. Take off all your clothes. Go run out into the street. Sing me Amazing Grace in a handstand. Hey, everyone. I'm Chad Michaelinas. This is Respawn Aim Fire, the kick-ass irreverent gaming podcast. We've got a ton of guests here today. We're going to start with Old Faithful, Holden DePardo. Say hey.
Old Faithful.
The old
That's
yellow.
Holden
That's
DePardo.
me.
We've got Mr. Man from Nantucket, Matt from Rhode Island.
What's up? What's going on?
And we've
Matt,
got
I
that
love your
guy
juices. They take
in
a
your
nectar juices.
sister's
They're so good.
basement, Matt from Dallas. Say hey, Dallas. What's up?
Hey, Dallas, what's up?
What are you, 4?
Yes. I spend most of my time with a 4-year-old, so it's fair enough.
I just knew that age off the top of my head. Somebody should buy me a Lamborghini. Hey, everybody. We're here to talk today about Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Remember that thing that we all saw last year, the trailer for, and we're like, man, that's going to be trash. And then we all saw it this year in theaters and paid money to support it.
I do.
That's what we're talking about.
And it wasn't trash.
And it wasn't trash. Let's go around. Did you like the movie? Yes or no? Explain. Starting with not trash, Dallas.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, definitely. As a Sega child, it kind of hit that nostalgia button, and I fucking loved every second of it.
What's the shape of that button?
Like a butthole.
A starfish.
A starfish? Yeah.
Chocolate starfish? Okay. Perfect. Matt, what did you think of it?
I liked it. 2 thumbs. 1 thumb up, 1 thumb like medium rare.
Medium rare. Ooh.
Medium rare, like almost up. It's like this. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, it
I
wasn't,
like
you know,
medium
it's
rare. Medium
it's
rare
not
would
gonna
be 2 thumbs up for me.
okay. Oh, all right, so you like medium rare. Well, I
So
was
yeah,
just
We're
saying,
not
like,
judging
yeah,
medium
like a
rare.
well
The
done-
thumbs are medium rare.
Yeah, right.
We're not. We're not giving a thumb rating
Well
to
done
medium
thumb
rare.
and
The temperature.
Yeah, we'll go over this later. But anyway, I like it. Yeah, it's Sega, and Sonic has a place in my heart. I used to go over to my grandma's house and play my Sega Genesis and the Model 2 version, and I love Sonic. That was the game. I mean, I can only remember playing Sonic games on my Sega Genesis, pretty much. I mean, for the most part. So, yeah, this was awesome. And they had a lot of little cues in it, which I'm sure we'll talk about, that kind of like, throwbacks to the original games.
Well, the best cue had to be the Fast and Furious cue, right?
Yes. Well, yeah. Yeah, of course.
That's the
I mean,
one
that's...
When I saw that in the most recent preview, like the preview after it had already come out, they spoiled that joke for me, and I was like,
I
man.
didn't see that.
I would have had a
man.
much bigger pop in the theater. When I was in the theater, I immediately pulled out Letterboxd and I gave it 5 stars, and then I put it, and then I adjusted afterwards.
Somebody threw a robe at your seat.
Yes, 5 stars.
5-star.
Holden, Teresa, Magenta, DePardo. What did you think of it?
So I don't have like a history with Sonic. I don't think I've ever.
Boo.
I've touched a Sonic
Coward.
game
Nintendo
before, but I
boy.
wouldn't say like I played one. And I thought the movie was
Is that
fun.
real?
Yeah, I really haven't played Sonic before.
Oh.
I played one on my Game Boy Advance when I was a kid for like a little bit, and that's it.
Okay.
The movie was fine. I think if Jim Carrey wasn't playing Mr. Robotnik, I wouldn't have liked the movie. But he was fucking hysterical.
Yeah,
he
he
was
really
like
was.
on point. He was perfect for the role. And there were some things that Sonic said that were funny, and the rest of the movie I thought was just kind of meh.
Yeah.
I
that's me.
liked the movie a lot more. Hi, I'm Chad Michaelinas. I liked it a lot more than I thought that it deserved any right to get from me. Like going in this movie, like for looking back at like dinosaur human faced Sonic from that first trailer to what it became today, it was like, what did you do? What did you do to yourself? Go back and totally redeem yourself. I enjoyed it. I thought Sonic was great. I thought Robotnik was way over the top and amazing and hilarious. And I am looking forward to a sequel to this movie. And I didn't think that I'd be sitting here saying that as a grown adult man in 2020.
Well, I mean, the sequel's definitely coming, right? I mean, it made a ton of money.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It made more money than Detective Pikachu, and Detective Pikachu made a lot of money.
That's mind blowing to me because I thought Detective Pikachu would have been like more widely accepted, and I
Right?
feel like there would be
Absolutely,
more
yeah.
fans for that movie than Sonic, but apparently not. I mean, maybe all the people that said like that they wanted to change the CGI, they should change the CGI. Maybe they like stood by it and they're like, okay, they listened to us. Maybe I should go out and see it. mean, like kind of like how you were saying. But that's crazy to me that they made more than Detective Pikachu.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
also surprised
insane.
it did this well
I didn't
on
see-
Valentine's Day. Like, he did really well on Valentine's Day. Which just,
What
doesn't
else are you
seem
going to
like a
go see on
Valentine's
Valentine's
movie.
Day?
I don't know.
Birds
I
of
wouldn't
Prey.
go see anything that would like speak to the Valentine's holiday because I can't stand like cheesy romantic comedies. They usually come around that time. Or 50 Shades of Grey. which we did see on
Valentine's movies are
Valentine's.
usually either like horror movies or Sonic the Hedgehog. Like, if you look back in history, it's usually a Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
Yeah. Remember that movie about the? I don't know. It was like a mine
Charlotte's Web.
worker, and it was it was like the first 3D movie I can remember, and it was like
My Bloody Valentine.
was that it?
Oh, yeah.
that's
My
it,
Bloody
yeah.
Valentine, yep.
Yeah, there you go.
That was like the first movie that came out after Avatar in 3D, I think. And
Was that after Avatar? Yeah, I
No,
guess.
think it
do
was
you
after Avatar.
No, right after Avatar, like within a couple months, there was the Jim Carrey Christmas Carol.
Oh,
that,
right.
They,
The
didn't-
fully
they released
animated-
the Christmas. Avatar came out in December. They released Christmas Carol in like March.
No, it was like that same month. It
Oh,
had to
okay.
be. It had. We're gonna look it up right now because this is
The
important.
reason I bring up My Bloody Valentine is that it specifically used some of the same 3D that was used in Avatar. So everyone's like, oh, like that was kind of like the big appeal when it came out.
Oh, okay. All right, that
Avatar,
makes sense.
December 18th, 2009. Jim
2009.
Carrey Christmas Carol, also 2009.
2009. Really?
What day? It doesn't fucking matter. It's also 2009. So,
There we go.
boom, roasted.
But yeah,
I
Jim
think
Carrey.
that was November, though. I'm looking that up. What do you mean it doesn't say? Where does it not say?
I just Googled Jim Carrey Christmas Carol. I didn't Google release date, and I didn't feel like tapping on it and searching again. So,
Oh, well, Wikipedia will just tell you immediately.
well, tell me immediately then. Oh, guess that wasn't
Unless-
fast enough, Wikipedia.
Unless I just edited Wikipedia.
Oh, shit. You guys, what were some of your favorite moments? Dallas mentioned the Vin Diesel thing.
That was great. I loved it, and I
It
didn't.
was November 6th, 2009.
I
We are
love
100% spoiling this, by the way. 100%
Oh, yeah.
spoilers.
Yeah, we're spoilers.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Spoilers. My favorite part, hands down, was the bar scene, like the biker bar. And
Oh,
they
yeah.
did like, and I mean, it was just like, they're not paying homage to that scene, but the scene from X-Men First
Quicksilver.
Class, where Quicksilver is running around the room and placing the bullets, and it was kind of like Sonic did the same thing. I love that. I'll be a sucker for those type of scenes every time. So that was awesome. Like the whole thing with the bucket list, and that turned out to be a cool little like call back at the end of the movie, and make a friend and all that. So that was all. That whole scene was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that bucket list added a little bit of like heart to the movie that I wasn't expecting to actually feel a little bit. When he's like, make a
Right.
friend, and then James Marsden sees it, and I'm like, oh my god, they're gonna become friends. He's gonna be happy. I'm so happy for him. Yeah, I felt things in this movie. I didn't cry, I didn't tear up, but I felt things.
Yeah.
Mostly, it was just me playing with my own asshole.
It's that button.
That button,
The nostalgia button.
hit that nostalgia button right in my asshole.
I thought he was great in the movie. Have you seen Peter Rabbit?
No, that looks
That
like
was good.
straight up garbage.
It was actually really good.
I just watched it the other night with my son, and it's okay. It's not the best thing ever, but he's also great in that movie. Like that guy's just great. He's awesome.
Wait, Ben Schwartz is in Peter Rabbit
no,
or James Marsden?
yeah, James, yeah.
Gotcha. I did not. Okay, here's the thing. Ben Schwartz as Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic the Hedgehog to me is Jaleel White, Steve Urkel from the cartoon. I'm waiting. I love chili dogs. Like that. That's Sonic the Hedgehog to me. So
Yeah.
walking in here is named Ben Schwartz, the guy from Parks and Rec, who's like, I'm on pills, baby. It's like, I don't know how I'm gonna like you in this role, taking on Sonic the Hedgehog. But I thought he walked the line of being just like obnoxious to the point where I almost could have just like beat him in the face with a bat.
Yeah.
But then just like stepped it
Adorable.
one step back from that line to be like, okay, you're funny and adorable and like you
Right.
need to calm down, but you're still
now,
charming.
just imagine if they didn't change his aesthetic. How much you wanted
Oh,
to bash
no.
him in the head
Nightmare.
with something? Yeah, it would have been
Nightmare.
so fucking bad.
I will come out and say right now, I don't support the creators having to go back and do it just
Right.
because everybody was like freaking out about
Yeah,
it.
that uproar,
But I am
that's-
glad it happened. I wasn't out
Yeah.
there in the streets with a pitchfork for it, but
Right.
I'm definitely glad it went this way and not the other way. What it could have been.
I think it benefited from it, and I think it made money I don't think had it come out looking the way that it did, that it would have had anywhere near the success that it had right now.
Probably, you're probably right. Yeah.
Yeah. It might have had like that negative press draw where like people are like, you have to go see this because it's so like terrible.
Yeah.
But it definitely wouldn't have made close to the kind of money it made. Obviously.
Yeah, no.
Yep. And again, don't bully people into fixing movies for you on Twitter.
Yeah.
But also, sometimes it works.
Here's an interesting little thing we can think about is when it comes out on DVD, is there going to be a special features where they have a whole showing of the movie where it's the old animation?
That'd be awesome. God. I'd buy it just because of that.
Talk about special feature, right?
Yeah.
I watch that.
Woof. I hope they have a featurette, though, where they actually do talk about the process of doing it.
Yeah.
What if it was all a conspiracy and they did it on purpose?
And they did it on purpose just to put that VFX studio out of business because they are now dead.
Yeah, no, okay.
Sick prank.
Yeah, right. Yep. Sick prank, dude. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that cost them too much money, and now they no longer exist. Same studio who did the Lion King movie.
Oh, okay.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let me pull us out of that slump right there. The final battle with Robotnik was such a throwback to every battle you have with Robotnik in the original Sonic games.
Oh, hell yeah.
Him just rolling into a ball and bouncing off the top of the ship, his ship or whatever he's in at the time, a rover or drone or whatever. So I thought that was
my favorite part of the movie, and mostly because I went to see it with my wife and my son, and my son literally like yelled out, "That's amazing!" Like in the middle of that, and he's like cheering and clapping. Like it just like won my heart. I was like, "This is great."
That's awesome.
It just makes the experience so much better to see it with your son. It was awesome.
It's weird for me to see those moments like that where. Not weird to see that your kid is standing up in the theater, but weird for me to see moments on the screen like that. And I convinced myself for a very long time that I thought Sonic games were good, and I played probably 15 different Sonic games over my lifetime. And now, as an adult, I realize I was traumatized as a kid.
Yet you like low key judged me for not playing any of them.
It's just surprising that you haven't played a single one of them.
Right.
But no, like looking back on those games, like man, most of them are trash, and like one of them is okay. And then looking at it in the game, and not Sonic Adventure. I tried to go back and play Sonic Adventure, and holy shit, that thing is straight up garbage.
Yeah,
I think Sonic 2 is like the one I always think of.
Sonic 2 is the one I played most on my Game Gear. Sonic CD, however, is the only one I ever beat. I beat it when it came to iOS. But man, I had Sonic Triple Trouble, I had Sonic Spinball, Sonic 3D, Sonic Knuckles, Sonic and Knuckles 3.
Did you have
Sonic
a Sega Genesis?
I had a Sega Game Gear.
And you dock
so you never had it. Right.
The Sonic and Knuckles game, you pop it open on the top and you stick Sonic 2 on the top and you get a special game. Yeah, it's awesome.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Anyway, knowing all those games are trash as an adult and then seeing them on the screen and still being like, oh my god, that's so cool because of the game. It's like, that was so weird to me to see that I appreciated those even though I hate the games that they come from.
Yeah.
See, I didn't have any of that going into it. Like, I knew he went into a little ball. I was aware of that. But, like, they did a good job of setting that stuff in the movie and, like, having him turn into a ball to, like, quickly escape in the house. Like, kind of have these small moments introduce that as opposed to just, like, suddenly he's a ball and he's attacking things. Like, they did a good job introducing pretty much all of his abilities. So that was kind of nice for me because I didn't really know much about Sonic the character. So that was nice for me. I feel like I don't have much to say in this conversation because you guys are all going to the nostalgia, and I'm like, yeah, I saw the movie.
Holden, what was your favorite Jim Carrey Robotnik line?
I honestly, the one from the trailer, yes, I'll have a latte. I love your lattes; they're fantastic, or whatever. Like,
it was so much better in the movie, though. Like,
isn't that
lead
crazy?
Up to that line,
they
didn't spoil like that moment at all. Like, it was way funnier seeing it, with the build up to it. It was funny.
It made it seem like he was upset about something. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's all right.
It seemed like they were upset. He was upset about something in the trailer, and really, he was embarrassed for being caught, like doing this funny dance or whatever he was doing. Like, it was fantastic.
So
God, that dance scene was incredible.
So
incredible. Oh, I lost it. No, I love that. Like, they spoiled every joke. Every joke was spoiled in some trailer, and I'd seen them all. But then watching the movie, I still laughed at all of them, and they were funnier in the movie with the context and with the lead up, even though I'd already written them off as because they were awful trailers.
Really bad, yeah.
Yeah, they weren't.
Really
Yeah, they
bad
weren't great trailers.
The meow joke in particular, where Sonic's like,
man.
meow? And the trailer, I'm like, oh my god, that's so terrible. I laughed at that line in the movie.
Yeah,
It's definitely a
That
funny
surprised
movie.
me.
They pulled it off for sure. You know, I was skeptical about how funny it was going to be. I thought it was going to be corny, but I laughed a lot.
Do you guys know the name of the other cop, the one who like kind of sits in the office and answers the phone?
Barbara Streisand.
It might be.
No, it's the guy from the Mindy Project.
And Happy Endings too. I don't know his name. Anyway, I thought it was funny when Robotnik was in there with his goon. I'm a sucker for that thing where James Marsden's on the phone and he's talking to him, and then he's like, "Oh, are you alone?" And it cuts to him, and like they're all just like hovering around him, and then he that guy can't help Robotnik out at all, so he just like you just sit there and be you, Sliss.
Slash.
Oh man, he killed it.
Good.
Jim Carrey killed it for sure.
I also love when he tells the guy, "Pin yourself against the wall," and the guy, just, without hesitation, holds himself by his neck, and then Jim Carrey just chews him out.
It's so good.
Yeah, Jim Carrey's so good. He really did make like a lot of those. Like a lot of the comedy came from his scenes. The scenes that he was in.
Yeah,
totally.
Absolutely, yeah.
Although when he comes to the house, I was a little wary. Like I wasn't feeling his character at that point when he comes to find Sonic at the house. But by the end of that scene, I was like, all right, he's like, I felt like he was going to be too much of a bad guy. Like he was just going to be an asshole and not funny. But he turned out to be much more funnier, later in the movie. So
yeah. Well, that was unexpected, but I was going to guess that something unexpected was going to happen. So I would.
yeah.
I also like the comedy of the robots, like in the chase scene on the highway, and it's just like the big robot, and then the smaller robot comes out of it, and then it's a one-wheeled robot, and then it's a little baby bird robot. It's just like,
And they're like,
keeps
come
getting funnier and
on.
funnier.
That was good.
One thing I really wish that I had seen at the very end when they were doing like the whole thing and Sonic's getting super powerful, I so wish we would have just like gotten 10 seconds of Supersonic and he turns gold and just fucking goes apeshit.
Yeah, that would.
I'm sure they're
cool.
saving that for the sequel.
That would be
for
cool.
the sequel.
Gotta save something for the sequel.
That's
They
right.
need that for the
Tails.
trailer moment in the sequel. Where they're like
Spoilers.
Supersonic and then Sonic 2.
Sonic 2.
It's going to happen.
Oh man, speaking of Tails as a kid, speaking of like having a traumatic childhood, I was always player 2 in everything because I had an older brother and an older sister. So I convinced myself also that I loved playing as Tails and I loved playing as Luigi, but because I had to. But so I saw Tails at the end of this movie and I was like, oh, Tails is my fucking favorite character. I also like Knuckles because he has an anger management problem and I also had an anger management problem. But Tails is super, super cool to me. And I was just seeing him at the very end of it and he flies away and his little fox tails. I'm like, oh, I need number 2 right now.
Right.
The first thing I thought of when I saw Tails was that how Tails looked the entire time through production.
Oh, you think, did they change him? And
I mean, maybe. I mean,
must have,
it
right?
looked very similar to the Sonic models, the one that ended up being in theaters. So I wonder, was that one like gangly with huge teeth as well?
Did he have
Scary as
gloves?
eyes.
Did Tails have gloves? That would be the telling time because Sonic did not have gloves in the original design.
I think he did have gloves. I don't remember for sure, but I think he did have gloves.
Then he might have been redesigned
Pretty
too.
sure. Maybe.
He had to have gloves.
He would have to because his eyes have to look the same.
And then Baby Sonic was probably redesigned as well, if you think about it.
I bet you that Baby Sonic wasn't even a big part of this movie until Baby Yoda came out. And then they're like, fuck, we've got 2 months till this movie comes out. How do we put more baby into this?
You think so? that would be something. Yeah, baby everything.
They had to.
Fucking baby Yoda. It's a phenomenon.
Yep.
Baby Yo. The child.
The child. That dog had a child.
Is now I don't remember this particularly, but is Longclaw from any of the games?
I don't know. I was going to ask about, like, what did you guys think of his origin story? But there were 2 Sonic cartoons. there was Sonic the Hedgehog. It was just Sonic and Tails and Robotnik and all those things. And then there was like
Yeah.
the Sonic with like the secret woodland creatures and all them fucks. And I don't remember any of that. I never watched that one. I read like 2 of those comic books. I'm like, I don't care about this Fox Sergeant guy. And I was watching the other one with Jaleel White as Sonic the Hedgehog, and he liked chili dogs. So I don't know if that's real or made up, but I do know that, like, at least in the games now, there's like a trillion different woodland creatures that are part of it. And
I like
the ones in the beginning kind of looked like Knuckles. They looked like echidnas for sure, with like tribal masks.
They did. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. They did. So I liked his origin story. It didn't bog you down too much. It was very quick to the point. Take these rings. These rings can transport you anywhere you want. Boom. And the ring sound effects, perfect.
Yes.
Oh, it's perfect. The Paramount logo at the beginning, perfect.
Yep.
Loved it.
Is that a part of the lore in the games?
Oh my God, Holden.
I was zoning out for a second, so I was trying to find something, and then I found
Oh my God, that picture is horrifying.
I just saw it pop across my screen.
Oh,
What is
I
it?
thought you were saying, oh my God, because you just said that.
No, sorry, the picture of Tails you just sent. Holden just sent us all a picture. We were like, I wonder if Tails looked like the redesign. And he sent us this picture of Tails as like that decaying fox in the wilderness with like the ants eating his face off.
Well, so I was like, I couldn't remember what he looked like in the movie, and I'm like, let me just look up a picture really quickly. That was one of the that was one of the pictures.
That's so good.
It's disgusting.
Did you see the tagline? Is this Tails the Fox, the journey to hell?
Oh, I don't want to look at it ever again. I might delete it from the text message thread.
Oh God.
Oh God.
Oh, but that's it. That was it. That definitely was what he looked like before the redesign.
Yes.
Wait, does that one have gloves on?
I don't
No, you
know.
can't tell.
You can't see his hands.
That's what bankrupt that company right there. They made that. No,
You're never working again.
It's over. Pack it up, guys. Oh man.
So how do you guys feel on this being like ranking with other video game movies?
This is honestly my favorite one that I've ever seen.
Detective
I've seen-
Pikachu was my favorite, and I think this trumps it. I like this movie a lot.
I haven't seen Detective Pikachu, so I can't compare it to that one. But
What are you, a racist?
I'm not a Pokemon fan, basically. I never even played a Pokemon game, so.
It doesn't matter. It's a great movie.
I feel like the live action mixed with CGI really works for these type of video game movies, like how it worked for Detective Pikachu with I don't want to spoil it, but Ryan Reynolds is the voice of Pikachu and whatever, and then James Marsden I feel like was a pitch perfect cast for Sonic's like little partner.
Yeah.
So
I
hopefully
thought
we get more of him.
I thought like about like Matt before this. Detective Pikachu was my favorite video game movie, but there were still like we talked about in our review of that last year that there were still times that there were lines that I was like, oh my God, that was like painful. Like who wrote that line? That's disgusting.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And there were characters, and I'm just like, your character is so one note and stupid and flat, and I hate it. But then I look at Sonic, and I'm like, literally, the only character who I felt like I didn't understand why they were doing what they were doing, but I didn't care anyway because she was still funny, was his fiance's sister.
Yes.
Like she's just
absolutely.
right off the bat, no, break up with him, get a divorce.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand why she hated him, but I didn't care because I think she said was still funny.
Yeah, you really had no reason to hate him, or they don't show you any reason to hate the guy. The guy's a fucking great guy.
Right.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
What the
so I
fuck?
don't get it.
Wife's happy, everybody's happy, like, great guy.
Yeah,
She's just a hater.
hating ass
Bitch.
hater.
She's a bitch.
God, when she's tied up and her daughter's just running
So
around
funny.
the room like, gotta go fast, gotta go fast.
Oh my God, it was so funny. She's like, I gotta pee. He's dying.
Yeah, I liked everything about. I mean, there were certainly like plot things that like that was
Right.
a weird decision, or like the fact that he's literally labeled a terrorist on the news and his face is plastered everywhere, but it doesn't seem to matter anywhere he goes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
like
right.
that kind of stuff. But I don't care because the rest of the
Right.
movie just worked so well that I don't give a
Basically,
shit.
what I said the same exact thing to my wife after. She's like, oh, I like that. I like that. I was like, yeah, I mean, there's some really stupid plot shit in it, but it was enjoyable. Like, I enjoyed every second of it. So I didn't give a shit. It was fucking awesome.
Yeah, and I felt things.
Right. Me too.
Did you guys
Nostalgia
hear
button.
that interview with Jim Carrey about how someone was asking? It wasn't about Sonic, but someone was asking him like a role he would like to revisit, and he immediately said Robotnik.
Oh
Yeah.
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 Like-
Oh, and you can tell in the post-credit scene he wants to go full. He looked like he was starting to inch into like Grinch territory at the very
Yes,
end.
I know. At first, I thought like, oh, that's just like, the movie's coming out soon. Of course, he's going to say that. But I honestly think he had a really good time playing this role. He killed it. I mean, he gave everything to it. It reminds me of the Grinch. It reminded me of his role in the Grinch. His acting in the Grinch.
Yep.
Yeah.
So.
Quick question: have any of you seen Sex Drive?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know what that is.
Not in a while, but yeah, I have.
So, like, after seeing that movie, anything
James Marsden. Holy shit.
Yeah, anything James Marsden's in, after seeing that movie, I fucking love. So, I'm a little biased, but I fucking love that guy. He's the best.
27 Dresses.
He's really funny in that movie, particularly.
27 Dresses, yeah.
It's a great movie.
Cyclops. He was a very poorly written, underutilized Cyclops.
Everything was poorly written in X-Men.
For sure. Do you guys have anything else that you would like to say about Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie, the series, the musical?
Give me two.
I didn't get to say my say in
I'm sorry.
Say what you need to say.
Sorry.
I didn't say what I need to say about how it kind of stacks up to other video game movies.
Oh, yeah.
It's definitely number 2, for sure. But a lot of that's just because most video game movies are like the Resident Evil movies, which are like hot garbage. So like it's 2, but I feel like Pokemon is still a few steps above Sonic. I think the main thing for me with Sonic is that it's really funny. And Detective Pikachu wasn't that funny. I enjoyed it. It was humorous, but it wasn't like funny. Like there were comedic elements to Sonic that didn't exist to Pikachu. But I feel like Detective Pikachu had, like, to me, it had more heart with the relationship between Pikachu and the other main character. I can't remember his name right now, and how that relationship evolves in ways that I can't talk about because I don't want to spoil it. But the fact that I feel like I have to say like, oh, I can't spoil it because there's cool revelations in that story that I really appreciated. That when I go back and rewatch Detective Pikachu like I did earlier this year, I'm like, man, that was actually a really solid like script. Like, yeah, it's cheesy and kind of corny, and some of the characters are one note, but I kind of felt like the characters in Sonic were a little more one note to me. Like, I feel like James Marsden and his wife are pretty one note. Eggman, he can get away with being one note because he's so extreme that like that's actually like an asset to him as opposed to a detriment. So he can get away with it. But everyone else I kind of felt like, besides Sonic, was pretty standard. But I appreciated the cheekiness and cheesiness in Detective Pikachu more, I think. I think just it has visual style to it that was really awesome. All the different Pokemon. Like, there's like a lot about the Detective Pikachu that I just thought was like objectively like stood out above
Detective or a Nintendo
Sonic.
fan. We get it. Hold it.
Yeah, that's right. Frickin' comes from Nintendo.
There's one Sonic, and there's like a bazillion Pokemon they designed. I'll put it that way.
I think there's only like 800 and something Pokemon, so
It's a lot.
That's basically a bazillion.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us for this side quest talking about the Sonic movie. We're now all going to go play some video games together. If you want to play with us, patreon.com/respawn-aim-fire, where you can play with us once a week at least. You can send me your bank account, and I will fill it with money. That's exactly how that's going to work.
That's weird.
God damn that fucking Tails picture. Oh, God. I've never wanted to punch a computer before, but now I do.
Oh, it's so good.
All right, everyone. Thanks so much for listening. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.